So today, dear students, we are going to study historiography in the post-independence era. Now, along with writing the dynastic histories, the cultural, social, economic histories were also being written. Means, in the beginning, before the independence era, only dynastic histories were written, but along with the writing of dynastic histories, now after independence, the cultural, social and economic histories were also given place in the histories. Scholars of the post independence era began to feel, the historians, the scholars of the post-independence era, means after the independence, the scholars who were the scholars of the history, those who were the historians, they felt the need of writing histories of various communities, sciences, economic system, political ideologies, cultural aspects, etc. तो इस तरह से बिफोर इंडिपेंडेंस उनके डिनास्टी किंग, उनके एक्सपेंशन के बारे में लिखा जाता था, सिर्फ उनके वैल्यूज के बारे में, किंग्स के बारे में ही लिखा जाता था. बट आफ्टर इंडिपेंडेंस दैट सोशल, इकोनॉमिक, कल्चरल एस्पेक्ट पर भी हिस्ट्रीज लिखी जाने लगी. Because after the independence, those scholars were there, they felt the need of writing the histories of various communities, because after independence different communities emerge, science has developed lot, new type of economic system has came into existence, various political ideologies came, culture became very rich. So all these aspects should be included in the history, and that's why all the scholars of the post independence era started studying on these, started including these aspects of the human life in the history also. The historiography of this era has been influenced mainly by three ideological schools. Means after the independence era, the historiography was largely influenced with three ideological schools. Marxist history, one is Marxist history, second subaltern history, and third one is feminist history. Means these Marxist, subaltern and feminist, these ideologies influence the scholars to write the historiography after the इंडिपेंडेंस. तो इस तरह से इंडिपेंडेंस के बाद वाली जो हिस्टोग्राफी है, उस हिस्टोग्राफी पर हमें दिखाई देता है कि मार्क्सिस्ट हिस्ट्री है, सबल्टन हिस्ट्री है, फेमिनिस्ट हिस्ट्री है. ऐसी आइडियोलॉजिकल स्कूल्स का प्रभाव हमें, इन्फ्लुएंस हमें यहाँ पर हिस्टोग्राफी पर आफ्टर द इंडिपेंडेंस के बाद में हमें दिखाई देता है. So सबसे पहले let us start with the Marxist history. Marx, if we utter the name Marxist history, if we read out the name, we remember the Karl Marx, right? So somewhere this Marxist history was related to the Karl Marx. So let us study it in depth. The concern for the means of production, modes of production and the industrial relations were at the center in the writings of Marxist historian. Means the historians, those belong to the Marxist history, those selected the conceptual ideological framework for their historiography, for their writing in history. Their writings were specially related to the means of production, modes of production and industrial relations. Means these issues, these topics were the high focus of the Marxist historians. Means in their writings, their history, history was revolving around these means of production, modes of production, and the industrial relations. So इसके आजू बाजू ही हमें घूमते हुए दिखाई देती है Marxist history. Actually, if we say that Marxist, तो कार्ल मार्क्स हमें याद आ जाते हैं. तो कार्ल मार्क्स, it is related to Karl Marx, but it was in India. So यहाँ पर here the total ideology was that it was related to the means of production, modes of production and industrial relations. मीन्स ट्रांजैक्शंस कैसे होता है सोसाइटीज के साथ में, उससे ये रिलेटेड होता है. ये दिस वाज इन द सेंटर, एट द सेंटर ऑफ द मार्क्सिस्ट हिस्टोरियंस. Accordingly, to analyze the impact of every social event of significance has remained the basic theme of Marxist historiography. So, what was the basic theme of Marxist historiography? Okay, so what was the basic theme of Marxist historiography? Analyze the impact of every social event. Okay, what then that analyze the impact of every social event on the life of the human के people के लोगों के लाइफ पर हर सोशल इवेंट किस तरह से इफेक्ट इम्पैक्ट करता है उसको एनालाइज करना. Okay, it was very important for the Marxist historians. So this analyze the impact of every social event was the center. It remained the basic theme of the Marxist historiography. सो मार्क्सिस्ट हिस्टोग्राफी की बेसिक थीम यही थी कि कोई भी सोशल इवेंट हो, हर सोशल इवेंट सोसाइटी पर इम्पैक्ट करता है, उसका एनालाइज करना चाहिए. ये हमेशा मार्क्सिस्ट हिस्टोग्राफी की थीम रही है. Marxist historians in India studied the transition within the caste system. So, after the independence, actually, it was before the independence also, but even after the independence, there was the caste system in India, and that's why Marxist historians, especially in India, studied the transitions within the caste system. How the transitions were how were the transitions between the caste system, different type people from different caste system, different people from different strata of the society, what kind of transition was there. These Marxist historians studied that transition within the caste system. Among the notable Indian historians who adopted Marxist ideological framework, scholars like Damodar Dharmananda Kosambi, Comrade Shripad Amrut Dange, Ram Sharan Sharma, Comrade Sharad Patil have contributed notably. So, their Marxist historians specially studied in India, specially studied the transition in within the caste system. How was the relations, social relations? How was the how were the transitions between the caste people, different type of people from belonging to different caste. Okay, so among the Marxist historians, some notable Indian historians are over there. Those who follow the Marxist ideological framework to write the critical narratives or the history. Amongst them, the scholars like Damodar Dharmananda Kosambi, Comrade Shripad Amrut Dange, Ram Sharan Sharma, Comrade Sharad Patil have contributed notably. Means they have the great contribution in Marxist historiography history. So amongst them, Comrade Shripad Amrut Dange was one of the founder member of the Indian Communist Party, Primitive Communism to Slavery. Okay, the book written by him represents Marxist historiography. So, Comrade Dange was the founder member of the Indian Communist Party. यहाँ पर जो इंडियन कम्युनिस्ट पार्टी एस्टैब्लिश हुई थी, उनके काम कॉमरेड डांगे वाज द वन ऑफ द फाउंडर मेंबर. वो फाउंडर मेंबर थे. सो उन्होंने प्रिमिटिव कम्युनिज्म टू स्लेवरी, इन दिस बुक he has written thoroughly about his Marxism, Marxist ideas. So this book represent the Marxist. This book is the great source of Marxist historiography. So Primitive Communism to Slavery, Comrade Dange, which book is a really good source to know, to get the information about the Marxist historiography. तो इस तरह से कॉमरेड डांगे एक इंडियन कम्युनिस्ट पार्टी के फाउंडर मेंबर में से एक थे, और उन्होंने प्रिमिटिव कम्युनिज्म टू स्लेवरी ये जो बुक लिखी थी उन्होंने, जिसमें उन्होंने अपने मार्क्सिस्ट आइडियोलॉजीज को प्रेजेंट किया है. सो दिस बुक इज वन ऑफ द बेस्ट सोर्स to know, to get information about the Marxist historiography. Afterward, let us move to subaltern history. Subaltern history, the seeds of subaltern history are found in the Marxist historiography. मार्क्सिस्ट हिस्टोग्राफी में ही हमें सबल्टन हिस्टोग्राफी के सीड दिखाई देते हैं. The role of the Italian historian Antonio Gramsci is very important in developing the idea that history should be written starting from the bottommost rank of people in the society. We have studied in Marxist history that they were also doing the same thing, that they were talking about, they were studying about the transitions of the caste system. Okay, and they were their focus of study, the center of their study was that means of production, modes of production, and industrial revolution, right? Apart from that, it was the basic theme of the Marxist historiography, that the analyzing the impact of every social event. Okay, so similarly subaltern history was also studying from the bottommost rank of the people in the society के सबसे नीचे के हिस्से में जो लोग रहते हैं उनकी स्टडी ये सबल्टन हिस्ट्री करती है. सो इसीलिए कहा जाता है कि द सीड्स ऑफ सबल्टन हिस्ट्री आर फाउंड इन द मार्क्सिस्ट हिस्टोग्राफी. दिस स्टेटमेंट कैन बी आस्क्ड यू फॉर द रीजन आल्सो, कि रीजन के लिए हमें इसको पूछा जा सकता है. सो वी हैव टू merge the points from Marxist history and subaltern history, and we have to create the answer. So these the seeds of the subaltern history are found in the Marxist historiography. Italian historian Antonio Gramsci is very important in developing this idea of subaltern history. He developed that idea that history should be written starting from the bottommost rank of people in the society. सोसाइटी के सबसे निचले हिस्से के लोगों से हमने स्टोरी लिखनी स्टार्ट करनी चाहिए, ऐसा ये कहते थे. Antonio Gramsci's views were that we should start writing history from the bottommost part of the society. So in fact subaltern means the bottommost rank. एक्चुअली सबाल्टर्न का मीनिंग ही बॉटमोस्ट रैंक होता है, सबसे नीचे का हिस्सा. ओके, सो वी हैव टू राइट the study from the we have to start writing history from the bottommost rank of people in the society, and that in this way uh, folklore has been considered as a very important source of writing subaltern history. And that's why folklore, because folklore kahan se aaya hai? It is from the bottommost part of the society, bottommost people of the society, and that's why this folklore has been considered as a very important source of writing subaltern history. Folklore हमेशा कॉमन लोगों से आया हुआ है, bottommost rank of पीपल जो है, नीचे इसलिए की जो सोसाइटी के लोग हैं वही से फोकलोर आया है, एंड दैट्स व्हाई इस फोकलोर को सबल्टन हिस्ट्री लिखने का एक इम्पोर्टेंट सोर्स माना गया है. रंजित गुहा, an Indian historian, played a major role in establishing subaltern history as an important academic school of historiography. So Ranjit Grua has played an important role. He was an Indian historian. He played a major role in establishing subaltern history as a school of historiography. As a school of historiography. So रंजित गुहा ने, एक इंडियन हिस्टोग्राफर ने, जिन्होंने बहुत अच्छा रोल प्ले किया है कि एक सबल्टन हिस्ट्री को एक स्कूल ऑफ हिस्टोग्राफी बनाने के लिए उन्होंने बहुत मेजर रोल प्ले किया है. मीन्स ही प्लेड अ मेजर रोल इन मेकिंग subaltern history as a school of historiography. However, we may point out that much before the onset of subaltern ideology, similar thoughts were expressed by Mahatma Jyotirao Phule and Dr. Baba Saheb Ambedkar. Though we found that subaltern history emerged after the independence, but if we study the history properly, if we study, we will find that the beginning of the subaltern history was already done before the independence in the thoughts which were expressed by Mahatma Jyotirao Phule and Dr. Baba Saheb Ambedkar. Means subaltern history was did not come as a school of historiography. It came as a school of historiography after the independence, which was in which Ranjit Guha played a major role. Okay, but the thoughts like subaltern history were already expressed by Mahatma Jyotirao Phule and Dr. Baba Saheb Ambedkar. So let us know about them also. थोड़ा सा उनके बारे में भी हम डिटेल सीख लेते हैं. Mahatma Phule unfolded the history of the Shudra Ati Shudra communities in his book Gulamgiri. So Mahatma Phule wrote the book Gulamgiri, in which he unfolded, he disclosed, he opened the history of Shudra Ati Shudra communities, means untouchables, those the bottomest people of the society. He wrote about them in his book Gulamgiri. He drew attention to the exploitation of women, Shudras and Atishudras done under the name of religion. In his book Gulamgiri, Mahatma Jyotirao Phule disclosed, he tried to draw attention of the society toward the exploitation of women, Shudras and Atishudras under the name of religion. Means the people of the higher societies were exploiting the women, Shudras and Atishudras under the name of religion. This has been exposed by Mahatma Jyotirao Phule in his book Gulamgiri. So we can understand that how the thoughts of Mahatma Phule were belonging to subaltern history. Though he was earlier, before the independence, pre-independence era, but the thoughts were similar. They were belonging to the subaltern history. The terms Shudra and Atishudra indicates the bottommost rank in the caste system. So Shudra and Atishudra, these terms clearly show us that they indicates that bottommost level rank of the people in the caste system. Caste system के सबसे निचले हिस्से को ये indicate करते हैं Shudra and Atishudra. The role of the people belonging to Dalit caste is very significant in the shaping of various cultural and political aspects of India. We know that folklore, we have studied in the top of the page, we have studied about the folklore. Actually, this folklore means folklore, cultural or political aspect, political things. They are all shaped, specially played role by the Dalit caste people, lower, bottomest rank people in the caste system or in the society. Okay, so the role of the people belonging to Dalit caste, जो दलित कास्ट को बिलोंग करते थे जो लोग, उनका एक रोल था इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. उनका रोल बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट था, सिग्निफिकेंट था इन शेपिंग द वेरियस कल्चरल and political aspects of India. Means the people from the bottomest rank of the society, contributed contributed in shaping various cultural and political aspects in India. Means actually, you know well, cultural and culture is coming from the bottomest rank of the people. Their folklore, folk dance, folk art, whatever it is, that form a culture, their traditions converted into culture. Okay, so that's why it is said that they have contributed in shaping the various cultural and political aspects of India. However, their role was not duly acknowledged in the colonial and nationalistic historiography. Though the people belonging to Dalit caste, who were responsible, though who were important in shaping the various cultural and political aspects of India, their importance, their role was not acknowledged even in the colonial and nationalistic historiography. कॉलोनियल और नेशनलिस्टिक हिस्टोग्राफी में इन लोगों को इंपॉर्टेंस ही नहीं दिया गया है, इनका इंपॉर्टेंस ही समझा नहीं गया है. ओके, and that's why Dr. Baba Saheb Ambedkar, focusing on this fact, consistently wrote about it. And that's why Dr. Baba Saheb Ambedkar, he focused on this fact that the people from the Dalit caste, those who are important, who are very important in shaping the cultural and political aspects of India, but they are ignored always. And that's why Dr. Baba Saheb Ambedkar focus on them in his writings. अपने writings में उन्होंने इन्हीं लोगों को focus किया. The two of his books, Who Were the Shudras and The Untouchables. Okay, two books he has written, among specially related to subaltern history. हम बोलेंगे Who Were the Shudras, and second book was The Untouchables. may be cited as an example of history of subaltern type. So in दो books को we can consider these two books of Dr. Baba Saheb Ambedkar as the best example of the subaltern type. Now let us know about the feminist history. Over a significant period of time, mainly male scholars were involved in the writing of Indian history. As a result, the role and achievements of women in history remain neglected. As we have studied feminism, feminist historiography in the previous chapter, okay, both the historiography has similarities, so we can merge some points. We can take some points from them also, that topic also. Okay, so over a significant period of time, mainly male scholars were dominating in writing history, right? History writing में scholars जो थे वो male ही थे, and that's why of course when the male scholars were dominating in writing history, as a result the role and achievements of women were surely neglected. मेल स्कॉलर्स वर राइटिंग द हिस्ट्री, और इसीलिए डेफिनेटली विमेन का कंट्रीब्यूशन, विमेन का रोल और अचीवमेंट इन हिस्ट्री ये हमेशा निग्लेक्ट ही किया गया. सो टू हाईलाइट दिस फैक्ट was a major task faced by the feminist historians. So it was a major task, it was a major task done by the feminist historians, that they focus, they highlight this fact that women's contribution, women's role and their achievements have been always neglected while writing the history. So this fact has been highlighted by the feminist historian. सो इस तरह से फेमिनिस्ट हिस्टोरियन ने इस फैक्ट को मेजर टास्क बना दिया, अपना टास्क बना लिया कि इसको मुझे हमें हाईलाइट करना है कि दैट विमेन आर ऑलवेज निग्लेक्टेड, देयर कंट्रीब्यूशन, देयर रोल इन द हिस्ट्री, देयर अचीवमेंट्स इन द हिस्ट्री आर ऑलवेज निग्लेक्टेड बिकॉज द राइटर्स वर द मेल. So also it was important to study and compile the historical writings of women, and that's why for this purpose, to give importance to women in the history, it was also important to study and compile the historical writings of women. और इसीलिए important हो गया था कि women's की historical writings को compile करना, उसको study करना, ये बहुत important हो गया था. So it was also necessary to rethink of women's position in history. This point is repeated from the first also. This is in first chapter also. So it was also necessary to rethink of women's position in history. It was also necessary to rethink, restructure the women's status in the history. Women का status क्या है उसके बारे में सोचना, उसके बारे में उसको रिस्ट्रक्चर करना, ये भी एक इम्पोर्टेंट बात हो चुकी थी. Among women authors writing about women in the 19th century, see Tarabai Shinde. This is important name regarding to feminist history in India. Among women authors writing about women in the 19th century CE, Tarabai Shinde was the foremost one. So amongst the women writers, women authors, Tarabai Shinde was the first writer who wrote about the feminist history. She wrote attacking the male-dominated social system and the caste system. So through her writings, through Tarabai Shinde, through her writings, she criticized, she attacked on the male-dominated social system and the caste system. उन्होंने अपनी राइटिंग से मेल डोमिनेटेड सोशल सिस्टम और कास्ट सिस्टम पर क्रिटिसाइज किया, अटैक किया. Her book स्त्री पुरुष तुलना, published in 1882, is acknowledged as the first feminist book in India. Okay, she wrote स्त्री पुरुष तुलना, ताराबाई शिंदे स्त्री पुरुष तुलना, which was published in 1882, जो 1882 में पब्लिश हुई थी. It is acknowledged, स्त्री पुरुष तुलना is acknowledged as the first feminist book in India. So स्त्री पुरुष तुलना को इंडिया की पहली feminist history की बुक माना जाता है. So this can be asked you in the filling the blanks also. Filling the blank में भी ये पूछा जा सकता है. Apart from that, ताराबाई शिंदे स्त्री पुरुष तुलना बुक wrong pair के लिए भी पूछा जा सकता है. In 1888, the book written by Pandita Ramabai was published. entitled The High Caste Hindu Women. So in 1888, Pandita Ramabai's book The High Caste Hindu Women was published. Pandita Ramabai ne The High Caste Hindu Women means through this book Pandita Ramabai shows the women's position, women's situation, condition of those who are even in the high society, high Hindu caste जो थे वहां की women की situations भी इन्होंने यहाँ पर publish की. So this book is also belonging to the feminist history. The feminist literature of the post-independence era concentrated on the issues after the independence. In the post-independence era, feminist literature concentrated on the issues like employment of women, treatment meted out to them at their workplace, their right to political equality, etc. So, after the independence, feminist literature specially concentrated on the employment of women, treatment given to their workplace, given to them at their workplace, उनको उनके काम की जगह जिस तरह की ट्रीटमेंट दी जाती है women को उस पर, उनका एम्प्लॉयमेंट पर, एंड द राइट टू पॉलिटिकल इक्वालिटी, और उनकी पॉलिटिकल इक्वालिटी ऐसे इश्यूज पर feminist literature ने concentrate किया है after the independence. Among the recently published feminist literature, Meera Kosambi's book Crossing Threshold, Feminist Essays in Social History is of important. Recently, feminist history's related book is published. Feminist literature is published by Meera Kosambi, titled Crossing Threshold, Feminist Essays. This is a complete name of the book, Crossing Threshold, Feminist Essays in Social History. It is also important. This is the recent publication of Meera Kosambi's, which is related to the feminist literature. This is an example of the recent modern feminist literature. It is also very important. So मीरा कोसम्बीज की बुक क्रॉसिंग थ्रेशोल्ड फेमिनिस्ट एसेज इन सोशल हिस्ट्री भी एक रिसेंट पब्लिकेशन है फेमिनिस्ट लिटरेचर का, जो भी बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है. इट कंटेन्स एसेज ऑन द लाइफ स्टोरीज ऑफ वुमेन लाइक पंडिता रमाबाई and Dr. Rukhumabai, the first practicing lady doctor of India. In this book, Crossing Threshold, Feminist Essays in Social History, in this book, the writer Meera Kosambi has introduced us with the life of the women like Pandit Ramabai, Dr. Rukhumabai, who was the first practicing lady of Doctor of India. So ऐसी ladies के लाइफ स्टोरीज को उन्होंने अपने बुक में, मीरा कोसम्बी ने अपने बुक में क्रॉसिंग थ्रेशोल्ड फेमिनिस्ट एसेज इन सोशल हिस्ट्री में हाईलाइट किया हुआ है. A history of literature is available unfolding the viewpoint of Dalit. Okay, a lot of literature is available unfolding the viewpoint of Dalit women. Okay, so in महाराष्ट्र के दलित वुमेन के सिचुएशंस को डिस्क्लोज करने वाला भी लिटरेचर बहुत सारा अवेलेबल है. सो लॉट ऑफ लिटरेचर इज अवेलेबल ओवर देयर which unfold the women's condition in Maharashtra. Especially Dalit women in Maharashtra. Dr. Sharmila Rege. Okay, Dr. Sharmila Rege's work is noteworthy in this context. So for this disclosing the Dalit women's status position in Maharashtra, for this purpose, Dr. Sharmila Rege's book Writing Caste, Writing Gender, Reading Dalit Women's Testimonies, this book is very important regarding this context. Okay, regarding this, it is very important. Includes her essays on the autobiographies of Dalit women. Okay, in this book, she has written the autobiographies, her essays on autobiographies of Dalit women. Dalit women की autobiographies के इसमें लिखी हुई है. Do you know publication of Marathi Riyasat? Publication of Marathi Riyasat by Govind Sakaram Sardesai was a momentous achievement in the field of Indian historiography. See, remember this name always, Marathi Riyasat, publication of Marathi Riyasat, this book by Govind Sakaram Sardesai. was a momentous achievement in the field of Indian historiography. Means in the field of Indian historiography, Govind Sakaram Sardesai has done revolution. He brought a he it was a great achievement of him that he published Marathi Riyasat, and because of his work he became so famous that the people began to address him as Riyasatkar. Okay, so his book became so popular, so he was known as the Riyasatkar. He published several volumes of Maratha history, और इस तरह से मराठा हिस्ट्री की बहुत सारी बुक्स उन्होंने पब्लिश की हैं. There have been a number of Indian historians who wrote about without embarrassing a particular ideology. All the scholars in India have not written or they cling to particular ideology, but there are many Indian historians, those have written history without following any particular ideology. Among them, historians like Sir Jadunath Sarkar, Surendranath Sen, Riyasatkar, G.S. Sardesai, and Trambak Shankar Sejwalkar are noteworthy. These writers, these historians did not follow any particular ideology, but even they earned their name, they wrote their history in their book and they became popular. They are also noteworthy. In the recent times, historians like Yashwant Dinkar Phadke, Ramchandra Guha, etc. have contributed extensively to the historiography of modern India. In the recent times, abhi modern historiography में the Yashwant Dinkar Phadke, then Ramchandra Guha, such historians contributed extensively. They have contributed in the modern historiography. Modern historiography of India में in historians का बहुत बड़ा contribution है. Thus, it is evident that the Indian historiography has been influenced greatly by the social political movements. Then now it is clear that Indian historiography has been influenced greatly by the social and political movements. It seems that some part of the Indian historiography was also developed outside the influence of these movements. So ये clear होता है through the discussion in this lesson. We come to the point that historiography in India was greatly influenced by the social and political movements. But apart from that, in spite of these movements, without means develop outside the influence of these movements, some part of the Indian history also developed which did not have the social or political impact on them. So in this way, this chapter is over here. So thank you very much for listening me and understanding me. So keep watching my videos, subscribe my channel, press bell icon for the latest videos, and thank you.